Hey folks, here's an example where the BYROW lambda function could be really helpful. In this case, I saw recently the person wanted to know what is the percentage of each of these categories that this cost represents. So maybe a way I might have done this might have been to gone ahead and someplace maybe gone equal to unique, and I would have done something like this, and I would have just come up with, okay, here's my labor, other expense, and expenses. And then maybe I would go and write a formula here where this is equal to SUMIF the range, this range here, if this range is equal to this, and then my sum range would be this range here. So I could write a formula like that, and now I know how much the sum is for labor, other expense, and travel expense. So I could come over here now, and I could, I had to build that helper. Then I could go equal to this over this, this, divided by this, and that should give me, that should have given me a percentage, 62.5%, and I can't really copy that down, so that's kind of a pain. Let me undo that. I could go with that 62%, but then I'd have to take a look at this and go, let's see if I copy that down. That's going to be D3 over that B12. So in this case, with this formula, B11 would have to be locked. I could lock that range, and then I could drag that down, and then I get my percentages that way. But as you can see, I'm going to have to build a different formula for each one of these, and I had to build this helper. So let's see how we might do this with a lambda function. So what I want to do is, so as I'm showing here with multiple formulas, and I think I'm able to get the information that I wanted, but let's see if we can do this with lambda, with BYROW / lambda. Let's see what we come up with. So first of all, this is going to be equal to BYROW. And if I want this to, and so BYROW, we're going to be looking at this function of the D. So we'll go D2 colon D. So we'll be looking at that. And then the lambda, oops, I missed something there. Lambda, let's see, LAMB, lambda is going to equal to the row, as I'm going to call it row. And then I'm going to say if my row is blank, then I want to leave it blank. This is going to allow me to use that open source. Otherwise, I want to do row over SUMIF. In this case, I'm going to do a SUMIF, and my SUMIF is going to be A colon A, because I want to take a look there, and then I need to offset and use the offset function. I'm going to offset that row by comma 0 and comma -3, and then I think I need to do my SUMIF D colon D, and then I need to close out my brackets. So I should have about 4 brackets, I think, to close everything out. Let's see if that works. Right now I seem to want these to show up as percents. So let's see, I get the 62.5%, the 21.88, the 15.63. I hadn't finished calculating these, but I'm going to assume that those are correct. And if I were to add another expense here, let's say we added another labor expense, and we don't really care what's in there, but let's say we added a labor expense of $48,000. That should change. That should go ahead and change what this percentage is for, because now my labor, let me move these out of the way, get these down out of the way. My labor is now a little bit different because now my labor is equal to that plus that. My labor is now totaling 208,000. So let's just see if that's going to work here. If this labor is equal to A28 to, let's see, D9, and then I went ahead and added A2 or D2 to D10, because I went ahead and added that in there, and then that would be A10, and then that's that 208,000, and that's my 48.08. So just double checking that with my manual formula, my lambda actually works. And then I would just apply percentages to the whole column here. So with a single formula right here, I am able to use my BYROW lambda to show me the average by category. So this is my, 100,000 is basically 48.08% of 208,000, which is the total that we have for labor, the total we have for other expenses, 35,000, and the total that we have for the travel expenses, 103,000, which was that. So nice handy way, great new function, BYROW and LAMBDA.